Welcome, welcome, poets, artists, musicians, family. You know what it is. Finally, I said finally, Thursday night has come back. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone. We're going to open the night like this. Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation. Rest in silence and hear the whispers of your soul. Rumi. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone, and get comfortable. It's about to go down. Oh, yeah. Good evening and welcome to the Open Mic presented by the legendary, the legendary Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I am your host. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Thursday. This is the jump off. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. You know what this is because we've been doing this and doing this and doing this well. Welcome to week 35. We're going to continue to rock it and get it done as we continue to do it the way we do. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching on one of these streams, we truly appreciate you. And you would like to join us in the Zoom. The number's on your screen, 977-539-856. Jump in, join the greatest community in the world. Want to know why I say that? Trust and believe we're going to show you this evening. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we'd like to thank the New York State Department of Cultural Affairs and the Howard Gilman Foundation for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to nuyorican.org/contribute. Trust and believe every dollar counts. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse. The one and only Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be, because that cat's dope 100% of the time. This is where you can find me, Elemen2al.com. Take out the T, put in the number 2, Elemen2al.com. So many things going on, folks, for real. So many things going on. Tonight's theme, relaxation, right? This is about unplugging yourself, right? From that rat race, from that matrix you call a 9-to-5, what people call 9-to-5s, right? How do you unplug yourself, right? What does relaxation sound like? What does it taste like? You know what I mean? So if your artwork is not on theme this evening, that is still totally cool. We are still looking forward to all of your creative genius that you're sharing with us this evening. All right. Also, before I forget, make sure you are changing your Zoom names to coincide with how you want to connect with people. And before or after you rip, make sure you put your information in the chat. All right. We are about building community and we will continue to do just that. Next week's theme coming at y'all. Angels' Wings. like the gift of peace. This comes in many forms, right? I understand this is just one representation, right? But again, you all have artistic license to do what you feel this does to your creative spirit, right? Again, you have artistic license. So that's what we're going to be looking at next week. Angel's Wings, the gift of peace. And here's a look at some upcoming themes that we will get into. Just some different things, folks. You know what I mean? We've tackled lots of things, right? We're gonna keep digging, right? There's gold in them there hills. Trust. All right, let's get to the rules so we can get to the artistry. Artists, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic stage as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that you give to your performance. All right, so turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready to perform, have your artwork ready. All right. If you're playing music, have your original sound for musicians on. Make sure it's original music. All right. We don't want the agents of the interweb interfering with our streams in any way. So make sure your music is original. All right. Original sound, original music. We're good to go. Artists, you got 3 minutes to rock. All right. You got a 30-second intro to let the folks know, as I said, how they can connect with you, how we can continue to build the greatest community in the world. Right. Also, again, change your Zoom name to coincide with how you want people to connect with you. All right. Also, keep in mind there are people behind you that want to rock. All right. So we have reached night 9:30 for the babies, folks. There are explicit lyricists in our community, and the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in the vein of everything we do. Therefore, there is no censorship other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated. There is no censorship. What we do is a living, breathing trigger warning. All right? Thou hast been warned. Trust. This is a true call and response space. After these artists get up here and share a true essence of who they are, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share all of that energy back with the room. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. So give all that energy into the room, into the space, and it will be returned to you in the performance of each and every artist this evening. Believe it. The guaranteed list tonight is closed. All right. Sign up begins 24 hours before the show, which will be Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to Nuyorican.org, click on full events calendar. You click on a Thursday that you want to get down on, and you need an artist RSVP ticket. They won't populate until 24 hours before the show. All right. Also, in the tri-state area, the Bowery Slam is going down. Trust. Listen, it's such a beautiful stage, man. So make sure you're coming through if you absolutely can. Also, the open mic at the Lower East Side Center going down. The open mic comedy coming. Listen. This is what I'm talking about, right? I actually love this aspect right here. So much of comedy connects with poetry. It's amazing, right? Love it. Listen, another open mic, right? Listen, we got to keep going, keep the idea of the cafe, of the open space, of the open mic alive in people's brains, right? And again, another one, right? Shout out Storm Gods in the building. This cat, listen, that looked like it was mad fun. So plug in, folks. Tonight's list. Yes. All of these incredible artists came to get down and rock with us this evening. So let's get to it. Look at all of these beautiful people. All of my rowdy friends here on Thursday night. What's good? Great to see everyone, as always. Listen, we will get into it. Goodness, good to see you, Marianne. It's been a while. All right. I see Baba in the building. Look, and that's behind him. It looks like his book. We'll get to that cat in a little bit, right? Ike Walt's in the building, right? Joski, we getting there. Oh, we getting to Joski, right? And of course, our resident blacksmith is here too. Right? Sounds like it's gonna be a great night, folks. Believe it. So let's get to it. Coming up first, already got his instrument strapped on, and I love to see it because I like to say that this cat always puts our week into balance with what he does, right? So Hey, it's great that you are setting us off this evening. The one and only Joski C. Let these folks know where they can find you. Always great to see you. Set it off, Joski.
Hey, Elemental, at Joski C.
Sounded like a rock star, Joski. Take it away.
All right. So I wrote this song. This is, Donald Trump brags about passing this cognitive test where he had to remember 5 words in sequence. And he brags about it as though it is evidence of profound genius, when in reality, this was a screening test for dementia. So that's what this song is about. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Let the test shine a light on what we wonder every night. Where is the heart? Where is the mind? Atrocities of every kind. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Can't brag less, you're the best. You passed the dementia test. Diagnosed, so insane. How else do you cause such pain? Where is the love? Where is the love? Oranges were meant to peel. Beneath the rind there's nothing real. Everything you steal is what you've got. Takes a lifetime to create. Orange helmet, heart of hate. Bigots can relate to who you are. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Let the test shine a light on what we wonder every night. Where's the love?
Oh, and then he steals it. And then he steals your heart from you right there at the end. Goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Joski C.
Oh man, thanks for starting us off so beautifully. That was so great.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, great way to prep the room for everybody, Joski.
It's beautiful and it's just amazing how the seriousness of the song, like and what it is about, but then how you come with the line, "Where's the love?" Because I think we need to ask all of that in the current political situation. So Josie, this is one of my favorite songs of
And
yours.
we always need to ask that, and we always need to add to it.
That's right.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I love that sentiment too, Joski, when it turned into that, right? Because it started out and then it's where is the love? It almost sounded like like a boombox, right? Where you can hear the tape going in and clicking, that sound, right? That it just reminded me of that whole, where is the love? Like a tape deck. You know what I mean? Like you had to love music to rewind and wait for it, you know what I mean? But I really, really dig the sentiment of it. Woman, person, man, camera, TV. That's crazy. Atrocities of every kind, diagnosed so insane. Everything you steal is what you got. Bigots can relate to who you are. I, I don't know if I want to be your friend, sir. I appreciate you, Joski, for what you do, and for sharing it with us and for setting us off this evening. For those of you who don't know, Joski just did a feature set. Listen, it was amazing, right? And all we need is just the album to go along with that. I'm telling you, Joski is an amazing artist, an amazing poet, and he kind of rocks that guitar. So I appreciate you, Joski. All right. Starship's underway, folks. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, our resident blacksmith is in the building. And I'm telling you, I call him that because he just used so many forms and he's so dedicated to what he does. And he's great at what he does. The one and only Michael Sindler in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, sir. It is always great to see you. Please.
Thanks, Elemental. You're always so kind. Joski, as I said, just what a beautiful way to get us started. I'm going to start by putting my little Warren sign up here, my years old little crinkly sign for lighthousewriters.org. Wonderful, wonderful place. I'm getting ready to start a new class with Susie Q. Smith, who people in the spoken word community know how awesome she is. So I'm really looking forward to taking an 8-week class with her, but I think I'm going to have to, I won't be here for those 8 weeks. So that kind of sucks. But some things are worth it, and so many things at Lighthouse are worth it. I'm going to do a few little shorties here. I'm going to start with this one called Akashic. One thin, fragile page of Akashic record, left unread and undistorted, links now lost, stories untold, how our shared histories unfolded, the map of being, the map of change, languages, pains, loves, shames, burdens laden, burdens lifted, ashen remembrances, refugees' dreams, map of treasured memory, last chance to read now faded away, unasked questions haunt those bereaved. And I'm going to read a couple of tankas that are actually some of the first tankas I ever wrote way back when. This first one's a Raku tanka after the ceramics. Ghost boat travels on without wave, wind, or current. Memory's river. It can only move backward. It can only hold sorrow. And the next one is a dream tanka. Midnight blue, not black, is the color of mourning that I am cloaked in, said the woman in my dream as I awoke to morning. And lastly, do this one. Some of y'all have heard this. It's called The Limit of Love. Satellites fly past planet after planet. Telescopes look further out, clearer views from massive lenses. Colliders search for smallest particles. Technology pulls both ends apart, finds assumption-shattering discoveries, and yet no experiment ever conducted can find the limit of love. Okay, thank y'all.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, this is what this dude does. He does it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Michael Sindler.
Go, Michael. Go, Michael Sindler.
Yes, Michael.
That last line, yeah, the technology.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so true. You know?
Yeah, that last line, clued me into why all my experiments never worked out.
Indeed, indeed. Again, this is what I love about dedicated artists, right? Dedicated writers, dedicated poets, dedicated musicians that really, really keep their pens sharp enough to write, right? And again, I told you about the forums. I had no idea what he was getting ready to do, but he brought the Tonkas out this evening, right? The Tonkas came rolling in, right? The links now lost in the first poem. The map of being, the map of change. Like I really dig that. The map of treasured memory. In the second Tonka, right? Ghost boat travels on. Love that one, right? On memory's river, it can only move backward. Like that's just heavy. The color of morning in the third Tonka, and then as everybody said, the last line in the limit of love. So I appreciate you, sir, for always forcing us to pay attention to the style, right? Because if you're not familiar, right, Michael Sandler brings Tonkas and Rangas and sonnets, and it's like he's the king of form around these parts, really. Like seriously. So if you're unsure what kind of form or need a lesson in form, I'll let Michael Sandler. He's got those on lock, 100%. Appreciate you. All right, coming up next, this incredible artist continues to come through and set these rooms on fire. Whether he has his instrument on him, whether his telephone is ringing, like I'm telling you, this dude is one of a kind, and I love his work. The one and only Catman Bill in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Catman. Always good to see you. Please take it away.
I can't be found anywhere, and you don't want to find me any. So, I'm looking at the page here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We should be getting 6.5 to 8 minutes each, Anyway, but if you want to unmute, because I'm going to do a little stand-up that isn't funny, but what else can I do? I can take my guitar out. I don't want to follow Joski. I mean, are you kidding? I'm going to follow Joski? Okay, so you're not going to unmute? All right, it's all right. No? Yeah, maybe?
Sure, folks. Y'all know how this works, right? Your colleagues looking for the energy, right?
All right.
Never worry about following somebody, man. This isn't a competition here.
No. I worry about everything. You don't understand.
It was just an offhand way to give
Now I'm worried
praise.
about this.
Yeah.
No, you have to get away. I got my
Not a competition, man.
All right, so it is. Anyway, so this time I noticed that the last time I was, by the way, before I say anything, I only do my own people. When I say do, I only poke fun at my own people. I don't go outside of that. But I noticed that last time I was giving a little words at the end about Kamala Harris. Nobody was smirking, and I said, you know what? They're considering me an Andrew Dice Clay figure. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave the nice experiences I'll endure in her State of the Union address and in her role as president. So I'm going to now talk about. Back again, I'm going to talk about dirty dicks because this is a worldwide problem. The world is filled with dirty dicks, and I know that because I was doing. I'm a gallery. I sell art, and I was at the Midtown Hilton a couple weeks ago. Every time I went into the lavatory, everybody else walks in and walks over to the urinals to pee. I don't do that. I walk over to the sinks and I wash my hands because my hands have been into everything. And I want to touch something very pristine. But everybody else takes a pee and then washes their hand and leaves. So, and I don't bother washing my hand after I pee because I know that I've already touched something very pristine. You might consider not shaking my hand. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my Catholic my Catholic school years. Now, you know, with the last name of Katz, you would think, well, no, you only see Catman Bill, but Catman Bill Katz, that's my last name. And my mother was a Sicilian background, so she wanted me to be brought up in the Roman Catholic faith. And, you know, at first the nuns thought I was the biblical prophecy of Jewish conversion, and they loved me until I opened my mouth. They finally expelled me by 7th grade. But, you know, each nun had their interest in rapport with me. But by 4th grade, I had a lay teacher named Mrs. Hennigan. And and I was sitting in the front seat at the time. And I remember my buddy next to me, Bruce Sykart, and I were chatting one day, and she didn't like it. And she called me up to her desk and she said, "Get under my desk." And I thought, this is weird. I'm being punished. I'm in Catholic school. What could go wrong? So I crawled under her desk and she put her chair back into place and continued teaching. Now I'm in the dark, looking up at her big thighs opening and closing, and I've just been punished Catholic style. So, you know, and it did happen, you know, I mean, so, you know, I thought to myself, well, what if I reached up and touched it? What could she do? Could she ignore it? In that case, I would touch it some more. Or would she scream, you know, Billy just touched it? Or the third option would be to call up the principal, Father Emmerling, and say, you know, Father Emmerling, Billy Katz just touched my pussy. What should I do about it? And they'd say, well, Mrs. Hennigan, how did Billy Katz get to touch your pussy? And she'd say, well, because I put him under my desk for talking in class. And Father might pause a moment. This didn't happen, but I thought this is what he would have probably said was, well, Mrs. Hennigan, you march Billy Katz right down to my office now so I can put him under my desk. As you can see, you know, I don't have a whole lot of good things to say about religious people. What else do I want to say? Hairballs. I've got hairballs here. You know what these hairballs are? They're from my body. I shave. Here's a little junior, and hair grows incessantly all over me, and I'm tired of feeling a pillow of hair on my chest. So every once in a while, I take out my shaver and I shave away, and I save it. I don't know why I save it. Don't ask me, but I save it. And you know, it's I relate it to my Sicilian and Eastern European Jewish side. You know, those guys are full of hair, and I can only speak for them because I am them. Okay. So lastly, I'll just say that you know, I periodically have guests come by for dinner or drinks sometimes, and invariably somebody has to use the bathroom, so they go up and they relieve themselves, and there's a little paper towel rack right next to the toilet, and after they wash their hands, presumably, and in my case I wouldn't, but they would probably. You think they would use my paper towels? No, they walk over to my bath towel and they wipe their scuzzy hands on my bath towel, and they don't realize where my bath towel has been. It's been rubbing my body for many, many baths. And there are some parts to my body that I rub more vigorously than others because it feels so good. And they're drying their hands on my bath towel. Isn't it a shame the way people behave sometimes? Because you know what? They want to save the earth by not using paper towels. So they're rubbing their hands on my bath towels. Well, I think that I'm done here. I'm getting has nothing to do with that. And I heard one of it works, but I've done my best here. My coin box is on the side. Thank you very much.
You're already a mutie. Give it up for Catman Bill.
Oh boy, Catman Bill. Naughty. It's like unbelievable.
I love it, man. Like,
And
I
I
don't
think
know, Catman. So many transgressions there.
Yeah, I know, but I actually don't understand why guys walk into the lavatory and the first thing they do is go walk over to the urinal and pee.
My
And
sympathies for having to go in the Midtown Hilton. It's just a big, huge code violation.
I don't know. I don't know. I wish some of this hair would grow back on my head. It goes everywhere except where it should grow, here. And the ironies of life. I would love to have big, long curls flowing down my shoulders like I did once upon a time, but it's all gone. But no, does it stop growing on my arms? No. Does it stop growing on my chest? No. Does it stop growing on my? I don't want to tell you where I shave every place, but I do shave every place. So that's all I have to say.
Elemental, time to enforce the time rule. Time to enforce the time.
listen, man. Listen, man. Between the Pusey and the principal's desk and the fact that you saved the hairballs, man, oh my goodness. Appreciate you, Catman, for what you do. Continue to be as belligerently funny as you are. Appreciate you. Coming up next, you heard his voice just a minute ago. The Jedi Master is in the building, y'all, and he's about to do this thing where with these words, and he kind of like blows you away with it. So prepare yourself for the one and only Paul Skiff in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Jedi Master. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Well, it's great to be here with everybody. I wanted to try and wedge myself into the theme. So this thing I'm going to do is about, being unplugged. And let me just set it up a second. It's just going to be like 2 or 3 minutes from a very long, like 12 or 15-minute traditional rant poem. So it's going to just do the end bit. It'll be a little out of context. It's a persona piece, originally written around 1990 at the behest of Jennifer Blowdryer for her full-length evening performance entitled Holiday Inn Lounge at the End of the World. And it's a performance piece, and it's meant to be offensive. So there's like 57 different triggers in here. Sorry, I'm just trying to be equal opportunity offensive, that's all. So without wasting more time, want to see some fabulously naive, modernist, utopian architecture inside which shadow-like expense account wannabe do-good pseudo-politicians endlessly bicker about so-called civilization, maximally destroying entire populations to create a 21st century death worlds made of unique forms of necrophied subexistence where vast demographies of dehumanized pawns live everyday lives in conditions with the status of the living dead, condemned and cruel, repressed, topographies like a refugee camp where resistance takes the form of suicide. Being spiritually redeemed requires you to be sacrificed, and the only possible form of freedom is to be martyred into scraps of flesh by robot bombs in a non-stop, hyper-industrialized, artificially intelligentized kill-a-thon, while everyone else is consuming the earth into the time of mass extinction. And the indifferently depraved mosh pit of criminal politicians shows it has no responsibility, and legislative chambers are amateur hour talent shows who's bought and paid for pretend politicians whore for the gun lobby and try to shove prank laws down liberty's throat. Is this it? Is this it? Did I finally find it? Am I in the right place? Did I take the right turn off the freeway? I want to informatically dematerialize in a worldwide global gobbling statistic clinic where my personality is desiccated in a numerical recipe of buying habits and prompt rapes, where I'm endlessly sold by life brokers in a 21st century version of chattel servitude that zeroes out all humans into a menu of crave, weakness, vulnerabilities that zeroes out all humans. A 21st century version of chattel servitude that zeroes and ones out all humans. All humans to an immaterial commodity, and there is no Juneteenth in a data sum. There are no free states in the blockchain. There's no emancipation from the vicious informatics Hoover. There's no digital markets Garvey who can send a person back to their humanity from the ones and zeros that are like viral microbes parasitically sucking on the DNA of your spiritual genitals. Yes! Do I have to say that twice? Yes. Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Did I find the right place? Did I pull my El Camino into the right parking lot? I'm going to give money a direction to flow in. I'm going to be distracted from late capitalist horrors of global debitalism, neo-barbarity, gangster politics, and the legacy of hypermasculinity with its gun and war porn, gruesome passions, disappeared women, nationalist phallocracies, nano-racism, in a hot tub of stupidity and ignorance, eradication campaigns, military terrorists, gang rapers, and religious superstition daddies, deportation flights, toady courts, and immigrant child cagers. Yeah, is this it? Is this it? I'm gonna sightsee. I wanna sightsee over this broad, massive, never-ending impossibility to swallow down panorama. I want to sightsee. Yes, I want to roam all over this vast panorama of inequities and depredations. I want to sightsee in the accursed parts of American democracy with its regime of planetary inequality and amateur human necropoliticians. I'm going to get me some artistic entertainment. Is this it? 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 Did I pull into the right parking lot? Is this that cinematically abusive fairy tale, that prison industrial complex waiting room, that stadium arena extravaganza of a conformity where millionaire entertainers shout boasts about being plain old thugs or pose as gonzo sexual pretend prostitutes fizzling for a hysterical pep rally of fluff? Is this that cable network studio torture chamber, that national manosphere of phallocratic women fearing, that cyber crime hunting ground victim pool, that ego-bilious billionaires digital social platform mental illness factory? Well, call me unplugged, but I just want to see. I really, really want to see. I want to see a real live performance. Is this it? Is this it? Is this that Holiday Inn lounge at the end of the world? Anybody want to front me some PB29s? Or how about some polyhexamethylene diazolidinyl tiloxapol? I feel like having my mood stimulated. That should set up a nice, calm follow-on by Marianne, who can just clear out the room from all of this.
Oh my goodness. I told you, this but this dude does for real. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul Skill.
Wow, Paul.
That was such a daring take, on like the outside looking in. Because
Absolutely.
like the whole idea of like I am a sightseer, and
Mhm.
am I looking at what they tell me, on TV? Am I looking at the actual thing, or am I just flying over it? Like is this it? Is this it? Oh, that was nice when you were saying that, like, because it was like, oh, aerial view of this coincidence in my life. And is this it though? Is this it? Is
Yeah,
this what
breaking
they
through
tell
the
me that it is?
programming.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
programming for sure.
Breaking
Situational
through.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, Zenkantu.
This is, like I said, folks, this is what I love about my community, our community, because we are willing to share those real emotions that are conjured by the artistry that's on display here. Right? This is real work, folks. This is real blood and paint flowing on your screen. Like this is really, really from the heart of these artists. While everyone else is consuming the earth, he said. Bought and paid for pretend politicians, right? 21st century version of chattel servitude that zeros and ones out all humans. No digital Marcus Garvey. Yes, fact. Sucking on the DNA from your spiritual genitals. Come on, man. Did I pull my El Camino into the wrong place? Right? The global devilism, like the nano racism, right? Prison industrial complex waiting rooms, hysterical pep rally of fluff, the cybercrime hunting ground. Come on, man. And then a mental illness factory could be a job, like simple, just like that. Appreciate you, Jedi Master, for doing what you do and how you do it and sharing it with us. All right, coming up next, shout out to educators in the building. This incredible poet continues to come through and share her beautiful style of poetry. Shout out Jules. Hope Jules is getting better, stronger every day. It is great to see this next poet. Come on now. The one and only Marianne Teft in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Marianne. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Elemental RMT. It's always a pleasure to be here among poet friends. And thank you so much for that, Paul. Speaking of relaxation, I'm going to try to edge myself out on the wedge of the theme, as you did, realizing that even though I am on summer vacation, my relaxation really comes in writing. So I'm going to read a little something that I wrote this morning called Bus Stop. We started talking about September's past. Suddenly, I'm losing the conversational thread, and I'm standing again in the roadside gravel where I waited interminably for a ride to school under an umbrella that had lost enough spokes it could never reply to rain. But that never stopped me from talking back to teachers, the ones who delighted in calling out Junior B hockey players, 16-year-olds with old men teeth, and runners invited to bid for track success at one of those famous colleges where snow is just as foreign as Northerners, but who never quite got their X and Y axes to intersect in class. When I look back on it, I'm not still sure. Who did I think I was? As those instructors spat at me, reminding me I got 67% on this very test just last week, when I took them at their word. There's never a stupid question, except when the ones to whom they had long ago attached that epithet were trying to ask a question. Thank you, everyone.
You see, when questions intersect with answers, you get great educators like the one and only Marianne Tep. Unmute yourself, give it up for Marianne Tep.
Just
Thank you,
wonderful.
Elemental.
Just wonderful.
You
I
know,
love that when you read your pieces, it's like it's like story time. You know, like I wish you had like I wish you had like a segment on BBC radio or something like that, where you just read things to people because like your voice is just you know what I mean?
CBC or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So see this is all this reminds me. What it reminds me is that we need our own cable network, right? Like the Zoom thing works, and like we need our own cable network to 24-hour stream poetry, right? Around the world, right? Like just I'm so serious, man. We need to put in that work. I'm so serious. For those who never quite got their X and Y axis to intersect, gosh, even with the graphing calculator, it's difficult, my friends. Let me tell you. Okay. But it takes an incredible educator to be able to take something as difficult as plotting coordinates and make it sound magnificent. So thank you, Marianne, for doing what you do and sharing that new shit with us, right? Shout out the paint slingers in the building. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Again, shout out the educators. Like it's work, y'all. Trust. All right. One more, and I'm gonna pass it over to RMT. Coming up next, the atmosphere rearranger is in the building. Storm God's in the building. This next poet continues to come through and do some amazing things. Don't believe me? Watch. The one and only Zomkonto is here. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you. Come on, man. Take it away.
Right. Thank you so much. Earlier on, I was like talking with a friend of mine, like, who, like, am I starting to begin to sound angry, you know, because relaxation and relaxation for some people out there, you know. So this is what I came up with. There is a man that relaxed after killing Martin Luther King Jr., drank his southern beer, and even was inspired to sing, "Fuck them niggas if they don't know how to act, yo, fuck them niggas if they don't know how to act." There is no greater relaxation than after assassination, when the blood is still fresh in the wounds that never asked to be opened, when you open a beer after you have declared another innocent soldier gone. I used to relax. I used to relax after my high school examinations, knowing I had aced history, my favorite subject, even though the history they told was crooked, leaning into the lens of the ghosts my mother had warned me about. Collapsing graves where broken dreams hung desperately to rusty coins that didn't buy any of the joy we saw on television. But as I relaxed back in my grandfather's chair, I could see myself, yes, in this very chair, rocking back, relaxed, to the history of British saviors who I am told came to save us when most needed. I am told sharks are the most relaxed before their jaws sink into their victim. That the system promises massage parlors for the willing as long as they give up all rights to their children. I'm also told the many men that rushed Malcolm X had kissed their children goodbye that morning. And that after they relaxed to a good non-alcoholic beer because they was Muslim. And that the blood that flowed out of Malcolm flowed down his body like a young kid skipping school to relax on a swing, swearing he wouldn't pull that move ever again. I cannot relax in this goddamn loud scam of a world fam I've tried sleeping pills as if sleeping heals, but I am way too awake to the dangers of this minefield. I too dream of those massage parlors and hope they admit all colors, but this world wants you to purchase relaxation. It wants you to buy the right to ease the tension that they brought upon your shoulders to begin with. I'm told Rwanda was relaxed before the madness. That people used to hug in the streets, kiss others goodnight, relaxed enough to care. Yet here we are, tense muscles and lost dreams, less bear huggers, but hunters of endangered bears. Some can't.
Well, I tried to tell y'all the crackling was happening, but hey, hey, unmute yourself, give it up for some conto.
Never fails. Tell you what,
Oh.
every single time.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
laying it out there, man.
I loved it. I mean, powerful, tight, delivered with such, I mean, not relaxation, but just delivered like 100% to us.
Yep.
Like, this is what I'm saying. And I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved that poem.
Well said.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
No
it.
apologies, motherfuckers. You know, like, here it is.
Thank you. I appreciate
Old
that.
jaw.
Relaxing
we
after
don't hear some
assassinations.
Kanto
Yeah.
as much.
Right. I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that right there, right? Because listen, that line right there, like shit. Like, come on. He said there's no better relaxation than after assassination. What? He even said that they were sipping non-alcoholic beer because they were Muslim. Oh, collapsing graves. Didn't buy any of the rewards we saw on TV. Sharks are the most relaxed before their jaws bite down on their prey. Come on, man. The blood flowed from Malcolm like a young kid skipping school. What? He said, but I'm way too awake to the dangers of the minefield, right? This world wants you to purchase relaxation. Man, listen. This is what I love about our community, right? Because the theme, it gets so beautifully mangled in some of your creative brains, and it comes out in these magnificent works of art. And this is just another example of that. Appreciate you, Zone Conto, for always going all in and giving everything to your work, man. It's felt, it shows, and it's heard. Appreciate you. All right, before we move on, I'm gonna pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
Yeah, I'm echoing what you just said, like how your themes just bring out, the creativeness in everyone. Yeah, and I'm speechless after some Kondo's powerful poem. I mean, that really it's so thought provoking. So thank you for this, some Kondo. Thank you, Elemental. Yeah, I think I'm about to unplug following your theme here, but I'm gonna stick around, because I do want to hear what else we have coming up. But talking about unplug, hold on a second, let me just put up the right slide here. We did kind of unplug yesterday evening because our Nuyorican Poets Cafe building is currently closed, it's under construction, but we are collaborating with different venues throughout New York City. And yesterday, for the first time, we presented a free open mic at La Sala de Pepe, which is a great art space and gallery in the Lower East Side, about 2 blocks from the cafe. And we didn't have a mic, we didn't have music, we just rocked. It was a great turnout, everybody did wonderful there. I had the pleasure of meeting in person Paul Skiff, so thank you for coming and stopping by and participating, and Lantern Carrier. He happens to be on visit from Europe, currently in New York City, and he also stopped by and performed on the stage, in quotation mark, in the gallery, and I hung out with a Lantern afterwards. It is always beautiful to see many of you who we get to know from the online world, and whenever you happen to be in New York City, we get to see you in person as well. So we're gonna do it again. Brian Acosto Aria, he will be back to host another free open mic there in 2 weeks on Wednesday, August 28th, and it is free. We are volunteering our time with the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. All we're asking is for donations for the venue, for the gallery, because they will continue to host workshops and exhibits. And again, it was a great turnout yesterday. If you happen to be in New York City, come on by one more time in August and twice in September. As Elemen2al mentioned, tomorrow we're gonna have our first comedy open mic in the Bronx on City Island. We had comedy open mics in the cafe, but this is the first time we're going to do an offsite comedy open mic. That's on City Island in the Bronx tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. $10 at the door. So if you happen to be in the Bronx, stop by for this. And as Elemen2al mentioned, we are continuing our regular programming Mondays at the Bowery Poetry Club, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. This coming Monday, it's DJ Luna Rosa's turn to host. And everyone who wins on Mondays, they will compete at the Final Friday Slam at the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. This month is held on August 30th, 9:30 p.m., last Friday of the month. Also, next week, we have our postponed LGBTQ plus workshop and open mic outdoors on Pier 45 on the Hudson River. It was rained out last week, but we're going to have it next week, so I'm praying for good weather. This one is Friday, August 23rd, 5 p.m. This one is free. American LGBTQ Plus Museum and Spark House are co-sponsoring it with the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, so if you can make it for that one, come on out. Also, we are continuing our karaoke. Next week, on Saturday, August 24th, will be the third time Paul Concasso is hosting it at the South of France in the Bronx. So if you're there, a free entry, but there is drinks and foods are available for purchase, so come on out if you can make it. Online, we're going to continue our online open mics Thursdays. Elemen2al mentioned, if you want to sign up, it's 24 hours before on Wednesdays. Thank you everyone who had trouble signing up yesterday evening. Sorry, it took me an hour to fix the little glitch there, but it's all good. We're all here, so I'm so happy about that. And if, just like in previous online open mics, if for any reason you weren't able to sign up for an artist RSVP ticket, whether it was our fault or whether you weren't able to get to the site, just come on in anyway, and we'll put you on the good luck round list. Just let Elemen2al and me know. Beatniks on the Road, we're also continuing. The most recent episode is from Boston. You can watch that for free on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. And this month we added a free poetry slam workshop, as Tony McPherson is hosting our Final Friday Poetry Slams. Poets and Writers has given us a grant so that we can also host a poetry slam workshop. That one is every second Tuesday of the month. All you have to do is sign up on our ticket site to get the Zoom link. Next one is September 10th. So if you're interested in that, go to our ticket site and sign up. And that's a good segue for our ticket site. We actually have a new link to make it easier for you. All you have to do is go to nuyorican.org/calendar. And there you will see all upcoming programs, the free ones, the ticketed ones, including the online open mic. So just head there for, to find out what our next events will be, or go to our link tree to get to all of our other social media sites and everything else. All right. And also please support everyone else here. As you know, our community hosts great other programs in Zoom and online, including Fincabulary, including the Poetry Global Network. I know CP Mays hosts an open mic there twice a month on Sundays, and I believe an open minds tomorrow. Baba and Goma will be featuring. I may have gotten that wrong, but it's always great features coming up. So keep supporting everyone in the community. The Nuyorican Poets Cafe is not the only place where we want you to be. We want you to support everyone. On that note, let us support our next performer. I'll let our host yell at him because I believe it's been a few weeks or months we last seen him. But I'm so glad that he is back with us. Mr. Speaker, welcome back, to our online open mic here on Thursdays. Remind everyone where we may find you, either in person or online. And then the next 3 minutes are yours. I'm glad you're here.
Good evening. I'm glad to be here too. I apologize for my absence. It is what it is. I've been writing, so let's go. New stuff. As for this feature, culture. Many understand the purpose of the military. Most don't really understand the culture of the armed forces that forces you to conform to norms to perform. See, this visible culture of the military, it's full of structure, discipline, uniforms, teamwork, ceremony, saluting, training, and leadership. Some hidden cultural norms are sacrifice. We police ourselves. We eat our young. And sometimes our leaders avoid conflict and our tough conversations. This culture trains you for combat in order to improve your survivability. It's perfect for fighting, defending, winning, and the nation's sustainability. But this culture is not conducive to one's mental stability. Relax. Stay with me. Listen and breathe so you can consider these 3 unseen cultural norms that outsiders never see. First, combat veterans really don't want to go to book-trained therapists because they don't believe they can help them with real-world combat traumas. Secondly, if vets do go get help, it could jeopardize the confidence their followers have in their decision-making and mental stability. And in combat, this is really the main thing that you have. Finally, and to top those first 2, the biggest reasons why combat veterans don't get mental health help is because they could lose their security clearance, which is what you need to do your job. If you lose your top secret security clearance, then you could lose everything. Do you understand why vets don't talk to you? Did you catch their 22? Do you see why vets live with combat blues? Relax, relax. This culture wins wars while creating mental issues. Relax. See, it protects the peace, but it causes vets to roam and sleep in the streets. Relax. It keeps you safe, but it leads to high veteran suicide rates. This perceived culture is real to vets and in and outside of the ranks. So even in retirement, they refuse to get help, to speak about what haunts them, the traumas they walk with, live with, and try to hold off. As American veterans age, in decades, trauma turns to rage, resiliency starts to fade. Peace, it is suicide by gun, poison, or blade. Then the funeral procession, not a parade. Experts study him in dismay. You offer condolences, support, and flowers after he's jumped into his grave. Relax. Enjoy your freedom while other vets continue to pay. In peace.
That's what I'm talking about. He said, relax, enjoy your freedom. God, that's why Mr. Dude. Unmute yourself, give it up for Mr. Speaker.
Yeah,
That
good
was
to hear you
amazing.
again, man.
And
It's been a while.
what was even more amazing was Mr. Speaker reciting it back. Like that was beautiful. Like I saw Mr. Speaker, I was looking at Mr. Speaker, and he was reciting the whole thing back. That is amazing. A kind of community right there. Baba Ngoma, you always my hero every other time. One love.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
work.
thanks for just really clearly speaking about that equation about how people get to enjoy their freedom while people in the military get tossed out.
Powerful piece, really makes you think, Thank you for educating us, though,
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
powerful piece, brother. Powerful.
This is coming from the heart of a military leader, pun intended, right? This dude, he's really, really about what he says he's about. And listen, when you start talking about that, sir, it is a culture, right? He said the culture of the armed forces. It is a culture. Shout out all the vets in the building. It is something about it, right? And I know when y'all heard him say, we eat our young, like, wait, what? They're cannibals? Kind of. Kind of. You kind of. You have to be. When something trains you for combat, you combat vets and their real world trauma, right? Their real world combat trauma. Like, yeah, I've heard that many times. Vets don't want to go to book trained therapists because they don't believe they can relate to what they've dealt with and seen. I did not know that you could lose your security clearance, though, Mr. Speaker. I was not aware of that one. For real. That right there will stop any vet in their tracks. If they need that security clearance, it'll stop. It doesn't matter, right? This culture wins wars, but creates mental issues, no doubt, right? It keeps you safe, but they need to hide veteran suicide rates. Like, it really happens, folks, right? Which is why things like this, like I wear, right? They have things like this all the time to remind you, but also to allow you to have access to people that you may need if you are struggling mentally. So reach out, folks. Seriously. It's a lot to it, but I appreciate you, Mr. Speaker. Been too damn long, but I'm glad you're good, right? Shout out to Graybeards, right? Listen, that dude he's all over the place, right? I see him throwing up. He's not a gang member. He happens to be a noob. He's not a gang member. Appreciate you, Mr. Speaker. Good to see you, man. All right, coming up next, this incredible gentleman. It's been too long since I got a chance to introduce this cat. I see he's got his signature smile on. His head wrap is always on point, and his poetry is no doubt just as stunning. The one and only Xanadu in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
I am. Hello. Yes, always very nice to join your open mic. And I want to invite you to a place I'm just coming from, teaching in Honduras. Yeah, I wonder if Honduras is similar to Puerto Rico. We can talk about it maybe later on. And I want to invite you to exhibit called Rainbows and Waterfalls, Artes de Antropophagia Tropicalia. Maybe I can play from Tropicalia. Tropicalia is a Brazilian art movement, and they made one album. I will try to play it now. Maybe you can hear it. Anyway, it's just on YouTube, so you can find it yourself on YouTube. It's called Bread and Circuses. And so it's a background to an exhibit called Rainbows and Waterfalls. Rainbow and Waterfalls updates traditional and modernist tropical independencies. We want the Caribbean Revolution, greater than the French Revolution, a unification of an effective revolt in the direction of humanity. Oswald de Andrade Manifesto Antropophago. And now I will read something from Copan, yeah, maybe the most known place where we can celebrate arts of new, semi-tropicals, complaining regimes of old, eco-politicized, and meditating a para-consistent state of the arts. When you're walking through Copan, for instance, in western Honduras, the place of the Maya, the classical culture of the Maya, and this is a portrayal of the replica Rosalila. A structure they have rebuilt in their museum. And the review reads like this: red walls showing masks at regular intervals, connected by longitudinal lines that curl and curve intermittently to allow for decodecas that may be strong as well as upper floor, upper world, rattlesnakes, sun deities, heads whose decoration outweigh their verisimilitude simulacrum, eyes as augmented by eyeglasses, ears as enlarged by flower rosette motifs, its tongue sticking out like dragons. Its huge headdress adds to imagination, sometimes building a second human or animal headdress. While flies are attacking you like mosquitoes, birds slip endlessly to the top of the construction roof. Youthful maize deities showing fertility of community in region, masked with water lilies vegetation, maize springing from its head, fertility, subsistence, another youthful mask where flat face is carrying a monster mirror on his head. Air decorations reduced, arms elbowed out, hands meeting to his heart. Youthless, plain face contrasted by top monster showing extremities. The corners humanized by portrayals of old men in high and simple dresses. Heads of monsters cubistically empowered by near geometrical lines, painting factual features like an armor. Human head has an headdress, twice its height, one rectangular like a cuboid, one rather like a reverse pyramid, ears, shields as large as to turn the sculpture into relief, where you will find relaxation. Yeah, well, one more part of the south face of structure 29, bald head, shown as free from its body as decapitated, large earrings falling down to support of his chest, arms again elbowed to show hands like close together, but in this case, in fact, far apart, as if holding an invisible object like a vessel in between that may have been removed by hand of nature or culture. Well, I hope you will ever visit Copan. There are many more structures. I will now go on to Tegucigalpa, the beautiful, beautiful capital of Honduras, where you can find the National Art Gallery, which has a sculpture garden. And in the sculpture garden, you can find these sculptures. Alex Gallo, 2017, No Tengo Nombre, no name. Without name, both sculpture and object, which is an anonymous dog, clamped together as against heat or cold, or because of death, its face is as tormented as matter seems cracked. Point 0, you may know the Maya culture is known for introducing the number 0 in American arithmetics. And this is a portrayal of Blas Aguilar, 2017, Punto 0, point 0. Abstract gate, straight and smooth at one side, irregular and broken into pieces at another side. It tells its title, Punto 0, explaining point 0, from which anything may come, like logistics of inconsistencies. Protection of Innocence, portrayal of Katie Monguia, 2017, Protection de la Inocencia. a set of trees escaping from a cloud, insignificant details of daily life enlarged to show humanity's humility. One may wonder composition like classical sculptures of draperies collapsing to show only a pair of feet under a similarly collapsing dress. Remainder of classicism in 21st century postmodernism. Assemblage of pieces and marbles in a figurative style, face of young women laying down to relief of landscape, only houses up to a mountain and lost pillar, capital to a top, as figurative a face, as natural a hill, and the last may miss out on details which make the face feel real. And this is the last one, Eternal Moments, poetical portrayal of Franklin Toro, 2017, Momento Eterno. 3 pieces of marble, possibly signifying 2 sets of teeth, and an upstanding tongue in between. Moment as detailed as eternity, revealing unknown details, perspectives, and scope, and to a nexus of war as momentary, as eternal as piece of peace. Well, that's it. I hope you can hear the music by Gilberto Gil, for instance. I hope you enjoy Copan if you may ever go there.
Listen,
and I hope that one of you, or actually 2 of you, would be willing to teach in Honduras now, because I left my job and they are still looking for another teacher. So it's a very nice place. Now it's the wet season, so a lot of rain, but the climate, of course, a little bit better than New York at the moment. So welcome to Honduras. They really, it's not sorry, they're really looking for a teacher.
Wow.
1 teacher or 2 teachers, best 2 teachers who can teach about 50 students in El Paraíso in Honduras. Please be welcome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Xanadu.
Those are very beautiful delivery, and often, when you are in different land, you gain like a very different perspective. Like
That right.
I remember when I was in Rwanda, I gained so many different perspectives. I traveled around the country. I saw like about 8 genocide memorials. I gained something inside me, because then I knew I had to respect the place that I was in, and my writing was from that perspective, and I can feel that your writing is from a perspective of Honduras, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you're not just going down there and learning more from your perspective. You're giving back, and that's beautiful, brother.
Yeah. So it's really true. They're looking for teachers, not just 2 teachers in my place, but all over Central America, Nicaragua. They're looking for teachers in Guatemala, in especially those countries. Rather poor, but the students are very interested, willing to go to United States, very interested in United States. I try to learn them, teach them a little bit about Europe, but still they like USA more. And yeah, I hope one of you can go there and tell about what it's all about.
Listen, that is an amazing opportunity, folks, right? Listen, for the educators watching on one of the social media streams, if you're interested, right, reach out, right, so we can put you in those spaces, right? They need educators, right? The world needs educators. They talk about how much we need medical personnel, which is absolutely true, but we also need dedicated educators to help the future be able to translate some of these things that are coming at them. Thank you, Xanadu, for what you do. For sharing all of your wonderful Honduran experiences with us, simulacra, all of it. Truly appreciate you, sir. Truly. Also, make sure you're showing love to RMT. That dude, listen, we wouldn't be here without RMT, so I appreciate you, Ron. All right. I see a couple folks who come in the room. We will make sure we make space. Coming up next, this next incredible artist. Listen, peace to the gods, because this cat, I mentioned earlier, author of I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance, and I guarantee you tonight is no different. The one and only Baba Ngoma in the building. let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, Baba. Please take it away.
Hey y'all, it's great to see all of y'all, and it's great to be here too. I put in the chat much earlier. I'm going to be at Open Minds, Open Mics tomorrow night. I'm gonna do a feature, maybe half hour, 45 minutes or so. So come check me out. I think I'll be bringing some stuff that y'all will like. This is how you can get the book, and if you want to know how to, I got that in there too. Okay, cool. Let's do this. I wasn't really gonna do this piece, but after brother speaker did his piece, I felt obligated to do this piece. So I'm gonna spit it. It's a piece that's from the book. This is called FTA, which means fuck the army, support our troops, bring them home. My lover told me that in past lives I must have been Abraxas, but the docs said it was post-traumatic stress disorder. So I'm medicated with mushrooms and meth, trying to figure out the mess inside my head. Now if you can handle it, we'll take a trip inside. Put on your safety belt if you want to take this ride from the sidewalks of Virginia to Playcool's mountainsides. It was back in '68, after the time of Chet, when I crossed the burning sands of Cameron Bay, where the stench of burning shit and diesel oil permeated the air. You could tell I was a FNG by the cut of my hair, while short time screaming eagles and first cab guys with stubbled beards babbled endless stories about how Tet had been, with the mighty Viet Cong overran bunker complexes and fought them hand to hand, or how the 4th Division got wiped out in the valley of Playtrap between Cambodia and Vietnam, where the VC tied themselves in trees and those damn AK-47s had us on our hands and knees praying there was a God in heaven. Low crawling through rice paddies full of buffalo shit, crawling underground as a tunnel rat, finding huge bunkers 50 feet of concrete overhead, when we found ourselves surrounded, many wounded, many dead. Now, they're up on a hillside on a shack stretched out on racks. We identified the bodies that won't be coming back. Through blood, sweat, and mayhem, we managed to survive. One day you're in the mountains, the next day in the streets, trying trying to become accustomed to concrete beneath your feet, trying to collect your benefits in this land of opportunity. Welcome home, soldier. You'll surely need a friend, cause you only return to where the cycle began, where you joined the military cause you got drafted or you couldn't find a job. The recruitment office in the ghetto said be all that you can be. Now you're homeless and suffering back from overseas, where statistics of homeless vets add up to 300,000, where disability claims could take a few years, and while you get worse, it's easy for a soldier to die first. Lost in a system waiting list 127,000 in New York alone, and the numbers will be mounting coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan, plus the walking dead from the conflict in Vietnam. Waiting on Section 8 and medical care, standing in line for welfare, after fighting on the front line for democracy, angry, scared, broke, divorced, depressed, hostile, resentful, suicidal, and stressed, self-medicated to relieve the stress, from the military to filthy shelters or the slums, sleeping on subways, thought of as bums. In this home of the brave, this land of the free, I didn't fail my country failed me.
Yeah, man, that cat just cool as a wind that come from the Himalayas. I'm telling you, peace to the God. Unmute yourself, give it up for Baba Ngoma.
Oh man,
Ooh,
yes,
Man,
kicking ass, man.
that was like such a beautiful tribute. Like I saw a soldier recently, I saw a soldier. He had fought in 5 tours. He went in 5 tours, And he said something that resonated with me. He's like, I was ready to serve, but America wasn't ready to serve back.
Yeah,
He was
that's
a homeless
true.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
And like I looked at him and he said, oh, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't touch none of those. But he was still in the streets. And that, when I was listening to you, like I couldn't help but, feel the welling up of emotions inside me, because it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. Like the military industrial complex is something different because it always feeds the elite. And the ones that actually go to do the actual fighting are the ones that live in the streets. So thank you for highlighting that. One love.
Got that right.
Yeah, I really like number one. I really like the deep bass line through that piece. It really grounded it really well. I see other people react to that too. And for me, this thing going on in your narrative, it's a piece that's so much of a particular time, but you're on this theme that's just timeless, And it's that kind of atmosphere you create with the specifics that's so powerful. And you helped me clarify a way to have a perspective on this, how you kind of end up the piece. What really goes on is we don't get to be society, right? The people who society throws out so it can reproduce itself. We aren't allowed to be back in society, right?
Yeah, I tell you, Paul, you made a really good point there too about like what you're learning about how to do things from Baba and we're learning how to do things from you, and everybody here in this room like learns a little bit from each other, and just, we all get sharper from it.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally agree. We absolutely do. All of us do. And I think this is why I say I love this community, and it's the greatest community in the world, because we can do things like this, right? We can enjoy each other's artwork, and we can actually share the sentiments that they conjured. I'm telling you. There was 3 instruments this evening, right? Beyond the bass line, right? We got a violin, we got a flute, and a keyboard flute. Listen, this poem is something different, right? And I know he said some things, and some may not understand what those things were, but if you don't, then I implore you to do your research and find out what he meant by where the VCs tied themselves in trees, right? First time screaming eagles and the first Cav guys, probably some of the craziest in the world. Through blood, sweat, and mayhem, we managed to survive, right? And I'm thankful, right? I got a chance to hang out with Baba, and I'm glad that he made it back in one whole piece. But everybody didn't, right? All the brothers that went didn't come back the same. Plus, he said you only returns where the cycle begins, right? I didn't fail my country. My country failed me. That's gonna stay with me for a while. Appreciate you, Baba. As he said, he's gonna be featuring tomorrow night. Shout out Open Minds, Open Mics. He's gonna be featuring. Make sure you fall through. He said about 45 minutes. You get 45 minutes of man. Peace to the God. For real. Appreciate you for what you do and sharing it with us. We can only hope, y'all, for real, to get to that level and still be doing it that damn good. Appreciate you. Coming up next, the priestess is in the building rocking these glasses this evening, right? And listen, they are popping, right? Listen, I'm for it. I'm for it. It is always great to see the priestess. Peace to the gods and the earth. The one and only Oshun Yo Yen is in the building this evening. Blinging hard on them too. Like, come through, glasses. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is great to see you, priestess. Please take it away.
Yeah, I love these glasses, and I said I got to buy them. I got to buy them. Actually, I am so off topic tonight, and I'm not going to apologize because I've been wanting to do this piece for a while, so I'm going to do it. And you always say educators are in the building. I feel it's one of our jobs as poets to educate. So here's an educational piece. It's called Ebony Phonics. I don't speak bad English. I speak English with an African beat. Ebonics. Yeah, I said it. Ebony Phonics. Painted in African cultural traditions in numerous dialects. Uptown Harlem swing, Gullah Geechee, Georgia drawl, Chicago cool, Southern sugar lilt, 15 different West Indian patois, Trinidadian sweet speech, and a continuous song of African-themed dialects rising chorus from the Caribbean. And as much as you diss our dialect, you imitate them all. You use our language too. Had to. Its rhythm is too hypnotic, its colors too bright. Nothing in your dictionary reverberated in the soul so profoundly, so you imprisoned it when it snuck in your back door through your children's speech, through our musicians' music, and our culture rooted deep in our history, giving birth to new descriptive icons as its vibrancy wove Kinte sensibilities into your threadbare cloth. Coach and okay from Senegal. Tweet, miabone, meaning my bad. You picked up bogus from Hausa, boko boko. Boogie was our word for dance. Wolof, the word hip, meaning your eyes were open and you were aware. And bozo meant stupid, but we were never stupid. Just left alone to learn on our own or suffer in silence. Your German forked tongue diphthong double consonants didn't sit easy on our palates, so we infused them with African seasoning, translated them into our own idiom, the ancient reborn in modern dialogue embedded in our DNA. I speak many shades, descended from many African bloodlines. I don't speak bad English. And yes, I don't speak bad English. I speak English with an African beat. And yes, I speak Caucasian too.
Come on! Unmute yourself, give it up for Oshu, yo, yes!
Yeah.
Go, girl. Go.
Like,
That was
that,
wonderful.
you know, like you reminded me, like recently because I've got this app that teaches, it's called Duolingo. So I've been learning Swahili lately, right? And then through learning Swahili, I found certain words that I'm like, oh, this is what they were using all this time, you know?
Yeah.
Like for instance, damu, the blood set of the crypt, sorry, the blood set of the bloods.
Yep.
Damu is actually blood in Swahili.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, like, and all these other words, like, they are related to Swahili. That's crazy, you know. And for you pointing it out like that, that's amazing, my sister. One love, respect.
Yeah, it's like I grew up in South Carolina, and there's no sound sweeter than Geechee and Gullah, you know. But kids, man, it's like they just, you know, they use that and all the white teachers and all that shit, you know, just like, no, you got to speak like this. It's like, no,
It's just another dialect. And one other thing too, and I'm working on a piece that talks about this, very much so-called patois that they speak all over the West Indies is so influenced by different African dialects.
Yeah.
I was in Mandeville once, and this brother was arguing with another one. They were going back and forth, and so the one that was irritating him got up and walked away. And the brother sitting there goes, Kwasia. And I busted out laughing because in Twi, a Khan, where they speak in Ghana, one of the languages they speak in Ghana, Kwasia means fool. And he looked at me and he said, you understood me? I said, yes, Kwasia means fool. And he's like, how do you know that? That's a Jamaican word. I was like, no. That's a Ghanaian Twi word. There's so much left of, especially when you get in the West Indies, of African dialects. The other thing, that poem that I'm working on, is how words, they speak more in descriptive sentences than it does in just words. Like if you want to say you're hungry, you say, me belly's meeting me back. You know, meaning you're hungry. You got no food in your stomach. So I'm working on that piece. I love language.
Yeah, well, I mean, all culture originally comes from Africa, you know, everything.
Oh, yo, you see how she just off the cuff with it? Like I've heard that before, but it's just how you just happen to recall that and just come off the cuff with it. Like instead of saying I'm hungry, she said my stomach is touching me back. Like I love it. I love it. And again, those glasses. Shout out the educators, because I love when educators seek to educate educators, right? Because we can learn through translation, right? She said, I don't speak bad English, right? I just speak it with an African beat, right? Pitted in African cultural tradition. Like, come on, right? Now let's not forget that you imitate them all 15 different dialects of patois, the Gullah Geechee, all of them. You imitate them all. Its rhythm is too hypnotic. You can't help yourself. Did anyone see that mockery that was the Olympics? Did anyone see that madness? Anyone? The founders were, shout out the Bronx. The founders were up in the BX, man, at the House of Hip Hop. Like, it was just saying, educate educators, educate the people who are hoping to educate the world. Right? And it is exactly that. It's that kind of poem that does that. Thank you, Priestess, for what you do, for being a passionate educator, being a dedicated priestess, and being brave enough to rock them glasses. Gosh, I'm not gonna forget them specs right there, for real. They just kick it hard, for real. All love, all love. Appreciate you. All right, coming up next, shout out the storytellers in the building. This incredible author, writer, poet of multiple books. I'm telling you, I still don't know how he's able to publish his books this way, but they're phenomenal. I like to call this cat the Vincent Price of poetry, the one and only Ike Waltz in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Ike. Always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Trigger experimental poetry called meditation, relaxation under a majestic tree. This abstract poem has the opposite rhythm to rap. Even both have no melody. And then we take every word we say for granted and tend to swallow the importance of the individual word in place of a mushy sentence. And such only regurgitating the power of that one word into a likely meaningless waffling. Let us observe abstract pictorial poetry, where every isolated word, like every individual stone in a mosaic, expands the story. For example, when I say treetop, I expect you to imagine an abstract picture of a treetop only. At this point, the singular word treetop has no size, no color, no final shape, no leaves, etc. Only the naked word treetop without any dimensional relationship has entered our mind. And now, when I say the next word, treetops, I ask you to imagine a multitude of treetops. Maybe it's a forest or a wee forest, still naked, followed by the word green. Now the lifeless picture treetops becomes life, as you can now imagine that it's maybe summertime, and so on. Here is my imaginary poem starting with treetop. Remember, every word I say builds the story I'm going to tell you. So listen carefully. It's the mosaic of individual words who are talking. Treetop. Treetops. Treetops. The color is green. Treetops. Glades. The color is fall. Treetops. Breathing heavy. Treetops. Glades. Rooftops. The color is red. Treetops. Rooftops. Chimneys. The color is brick. Steeples. Telephone poles, so many of them in pain. Treetops. Rooftops. Antennas, wires, cables, and dishes. Skyline, solar cells. Insane. Skyscrapers, 490 feet or more. Cell towers, 50 to 200 feet. Ugly as hell. Skyline. 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 Skyline, the color is always gray. No treetops. No tree tops. No tree tops the skyline. I left the treetops green. I joined the skyline gray. I am technology, silent memory to blame. I kiss my device, as I only want to see nothing but treetops. Now on live streaming TV. It tops to plant a tree. They say, and I pray. Never on rooftops, though. Skyline reminds both eyes, now pixel sharp. Too windy. It's not okay. Not okay. Okay? My cuddly dog, way up in the sky, in an elevator, barks a line. Skyline has no tree to lift that relieving leg. No tree, no tree, no tree. Big eyes looking at me. And in a desperate squirt of V, Poochie Pete his watermark on my proverbial pants, up to my knee. Now that I'm dead, I'm glad that my will shall be the first ever skyline doggy pee tree. Skyline doggy tree. Membership remembers me. The doggy park is clean, sterile. Skyline way up to the tippy top. Skyline, but where did the treetops go? Treetops color though, I had to paint. I was awake, as none of that forever green remains. That acidy doggy pee killed my last lovingly spray-canned doggy tree. But then, only binoculars can imagine anyway what you and I walking Main Street can even see. P.S. When the purity of one word is contaminated by a sentence of only to manipulate your imagination, then it is time to listen to that one word again, to free what is uniquely yours, the power of your imagination. Thank you.
Listen, and that is the, in my opinion, the most powerful entity in the world. Unmute yourself, give it up for Ike Wall.
Ike.
Yeah, Ike is always on another level of storytelling. Like you know, like I've met storytellers, a whole host of them, you know, but you always come with this soft sensitivity, you know, this bird-like approach to how to fly, you know, like you always that intensity with the softness that we require, and I'm grateful to you for that. One love.
This was such a great example of what you do so often, where you kind of leave the listener just sort of totally dematerialized, because you play around with this idea of location. You know, you're playing around with the phenomenology of treetop and what it is as rhetoric and what it is as writing, what it is in a poem. And by the time you're done with that, it's like, I'm going like, where am I? You know, it's like I'm totally submerged in this imagination that's going on. And for me, this is just a super example of how you do this so frequently. It's like, am I listening to a poem? I can't imagine it on the page, but you're describing it as though it's something read off a page, but then it's an imaginary thing, but you're describing it as a real phenomenon. And you see where that just all ends up in this kind of total imagination merry-go-round. And it's really a wonderful experience.
Hold on, hold on. He said an imagination merry-go-round. Damn it, Skip. Like, no, but again, folks, this is what we're here for, right? This is the beauty of our community, is that we are unafraid to share exactly that. Right? I always preface that with storytellers in the building, because Ike is one of the best that I know, right? The mosaic of individual words who are talking, like treetops, right? The cell towers are ugly as hell. Yes, I worked on cell towers. Skyline, the color is always great. I kissed my device. That kind of struck me as strange, but it's real. Where did the treetops go? Right? Only to manipulate your imagination. The treetops went the same place as the animals. Missing. That's where they went. Missing. Appreciate you, Ike, for doing what you do, staying dedicated to it. Really, you're incredible, sir. All right, we have 4 more poets this evening, right? 3 more on the guarantee list, 1 on the good luck round, unless somebody else wants to get down. It's been a while since we've seen this next poet. This incredible cat, author of Light, Shadow, Life, as well as Let's Unmesh Life, also host of his own open mic. This incredible human being happens to be a poet that we've been rocking with for some years. If you don't know him, prepare yourself. The one and only Unmesh Mohitgar is here. Let these folks know where they can find you, Unmesh. It has been too long, sir. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Great to see you. Hello, everyone. I know I have been absent for long, but yeah, I will try to join again. Okay, here we go. You can find me Unmesh Mohitkar on Facebook and Instagram. So it's an old poem, but let's see. Shades of beauty are everywhere. Look at the houseflies or fireflies. Look at the white lies. Look at the ugly duckling. Look at the beautiful swan. Look at the magic. False truth ruling the moment. Look at the truth hypnotizing like black magic. By the way, what is truth? Is what we see is the truth or the absolute truth, or just your truth in the hypothetical world full of lies, or your lie masquerading as truth? I see curtains waving, moving. The movement of the curtain is the truth. Moving shoes below the curtain is the truth. But on the other side of the curtain, blowing wind making the curtain dance. Due to the movement of the curtain, the shoes change their direction. Only the shoes, only the sides of the curtain knows the truth. But both of the sides, both the sides do not speak with each other. Like an ignorant guru who knows it all, but is oblivious to his knowledge and power. Let us give a chance to both the sides to speak. Let the truth prove itself beyond doubt. Let the lies be found out and ousted. Let's find shades of beauty in the dark alleys where nobody dares to visit. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Goodness. I missed that energy. Woo! Unmute yourself. Give it up for Unmesh
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
Mesh,
we
I
miss
miss
you
you,
so
bro.
much.
Like it's a
Yeah.
long time. Like I can't even
Mesh.
remember when last I heard you,
I miss you
I
too.
can't remember when last I heard you. And that passion is still there. It's still engrossed in your delivery, still engrossed in, I'm so happy for you. Like there are certain things that you just say that change things, like you said, blowing blowing the wind, making the curtain dance. Like I remember sitting in the tiny room that I was at back home and seeing the wind blow the curtain and making it dance, and it was poetic as hell, so I'm so glad to hear you again. One love, brother, man. I love you.
Yo, there is just something about hearing Unmesh Mohidkar. He is one of the most passionate folks that I have had the luxury to be around these past years. Um, his work is incredible, and this is only the first one. Get your hands on Let's Unmesh Life. And I'm waiting on the third one, Unmesh. Like I know it's already cooking, right? Like it's gotta be cooking already. See, you see what I'm saying? Like that dude just he just does it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Really. And like your colleague said, right? I love that aspect too, right? You said, look at the magic, the false truth at the moment, right? The blowing wind making the curtain dance, right? Both sides don't speak to each other, right? Let us give a chance for both sides to speak. And I mean, call me an insane, poet, but I think that actually is how peace talks work. You give both sides a chance to speak, right? Then we can actually get something done, right? You get love on one side, you get hate on the other side, and we can meet somewhere and compromise. I don't know. Truly, truly appreciate you, Umesh, for what you do, for staying as passionate as you are about our craft. Truly appreciate you. All right. I posted in the chat. We've got 5 artists left this evening. Let's get to it. Coming up next, brother, this incredible poet, this incredible artist, our host of the Slam Jam, brother, is about to come off the top rope, coming to the ring for one poem. This artist and all of his incredible artistry comes to all of these open mics ready and willing with all the energy that he can muster to kick down every door, to clothesline every ignorant fool that doesn't know the rules. The one and only Dre Reyes in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you. Come on, man. Take it away.
If you're looking at my window right now, then you know where to find me. I got my screen names right there on Instagram, DreRed90, and it's the one Slam Jam. I'm gonna be posting something really quick on the meeting chat right now. I got the flyers for tomorrow's Open Minds Open Mic. It's gonna be dope as fuck because Baba and Goldman's going to be the feature. Also, expect some tributes tomorrow for the Magus Gustav Salas, for tomorrow would have been his 60th birthday. And we're going to acknowledge that and do some things. Also, the following day, in the very same Zoom room, we got Bianca, the special guest coach on the Slam Jam. It's going to be an awesome experience of slam workshop action. And also, there's going to be an open mic separate from that for all performance artists to come in and do their shit. We're just going to be having an awesome weekend at Open Mind. So check it out. Anyway, I'm here to present one poem, and you're right. Yeah, one poem. And let me tell you, it's not on theme, but you had Elemental, I'm talking to you. I remember this prompt you gave me. You wanted me to write another 90s Nickelodeon letter. Well, I got something for you. So I got imaginative, and I thought, what if for anyone who may have been familiar with Hey Arnold, if anybody familiar with the character Brainy, the one who would always get punched in the face by Helga Pataki, or well, geez, just being all up in her grill all the time. Well, I decided to go into a more mature route for him. Like he grows up, matures, learns some shit. So this is Brainy to Helga Pataki. Hey, it's me. It's your guilty conscience breathing down your neck at your locker, behind the dumpster, sitting behind you on the bus, and pretty much anywhere you feel safe to confess your sins to the savior of your heart, Arnold. I too carry a guilty conscience. I too know what it's like to not be able to speak the unspeakable to the object of your desire and adoration. However, you and Arnold are not objects. We are children in pain experiencing brief moments of spiritual Novocaine coming in the form of a brief glance, a quick hello, or, from you to me, a backhand punch in my face that caves me into wanting more. I see the pain in your eyes and in your heart. How your parents didn't walk you to preschool, how they seem to care only about your older sister, or how your dad only cared about you if you were trying to win the citywide spelling bee. I see a lot of myself when I see you. Emotionally abandoned in youth, social outcasts in a city full of outcasts, misunderstood to no avail, blown away by the gale of peer judgment. I wish I thought of writing this to you sooner if it wasn't for the numerous concussions I've endured and a severe lack of guidance in my life. I clearly didn't understand the meaning of personal space before, and I do apologize. The next time I'm caving for a punch in the face, I will approach, ask you, and grant you consent. I think you may have awakened something in me. In short, this is a long-winded way just to say that not only do I like you, but I see you, and I understand. I understand the feeling of confusion of where you stand in the eyes of others, how you feel towards certain people in your life, why you roar like a lion to hide the stray cat you've been treated as by your entire life. And I understand what you see in Arnold, for he is everything I aspire to be. Not to win your affection, but to be the wholesome, caring, genuine leader that he is. There needs to be more Arnolds in this world. For this dark world can use more light. In the light of this, I hope this sheds some light on who I am and how I will always be rooting for you, preferably from a distance now, out of respect of your personal space. May you be able to one day shine your own light as bright as day to the world. Sincerely, Brainy. Poem. Thank you for having me.
You shine that light, boy. Sure gets bright in here, don't it? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dre Reyes.
Hey,
I
that was
enjoyed
dope.
I enjoyed that
Woo!
compassions line, you
Mm.
know, because like I think like I've watched some of these sports and people like sacrifice themselves and for those concussions, you know. It's gotta be a incredible love for the game to sacrifice yourself for a concussion, you know what I mean? So, but the way that you read it out, you are always good with the cadence. You're always so beautiful with the delivery. That's why I always try to listen to you more, and I'm grateful as much.
Thank you.
You know, listening to that, it makes me wonder, what is it that makes people feel it's so much easier to say, confess stuff in a letter to somebody, you know? It just brought that up to me. Why do people feel it's so easy to do this in a letter? Why can't they just say that to somebody's face?
My theory? I'm just gonna throw this out there.
His leash is here.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was
Go
gonna.
ahead.
My theory was that there's just more time to process thought, to put thought into words. While in person, like you might have like some kind of a game plan, but then let's say you're like the super anxious type and you stumble and like everything that you want to get across is just kind of crumbles apart in some ways. Um,
I think you're right, you know, because the poem and the letter becomes a safe space, right? Literally, just like this place. That's the safe place where you can work it out. Well, that's what I learned from you today. Thanks.
It's actually a technique in therapy, right? It is actually a technique in therapy that they use. They say, hey, you know, whatever is tormenting you or whoever is tormenting you in your memories, write them a letter, right? A physical whole letter, put it in an envelope, address it, stamp it, the whole nine, and then keep it, right? You don't send it, you just keep it, but you get it all the way out, all of it out, and you put it in there, right? Say your piece. So I love that, right? Even just the art of or as Mr. Speaker said, the culture of writing letters, right? That is almost gone, right? I remember when my brother was locked up, rest in peace to my brother, like there was times that I just didn't have time to physically write him a letter, and I would type him a letter, and then I would apologize to him because like it doesn't do the same, right? Even though the words could be the same, the swoops of the pen just have more meaning than just a blank printer giving you, you know, static ass letters. So I appreciate that, right? Um like you said, we there needs to be more Arnolds in the world, right? Um, but the line that you said that I think it just speaks so much to a letter, a written letter, and that's not only do I like you, I see you. And that kind of touched me, and I appreciate that. As he said, he is the host of Slam Jam. Make sure you plug in. Also, he's going to be hosting tomorrow when Baba jumps off, and the next poet who we're going to get to is going to be, listen. This cat's all over for real, man. Like he's just putting his ring to work, and I love it. I love it. Appreciate you, Dre, for coming through and holding it down. Yeah, and you kind of got a lock on those poems, man. Just saying, like you got a lock on them. Just so funk with them. All right, coming up next, our closer for the guaranteed list this evening. Been a while since this dope poet came through with all of her society. Shout out to her Patreon. Listen, this incredible poet and working on her body, right? I seen the movie Thai Kick. She's getting down with him. And she's a beast on stage. Trust and believe. The one and only Bianca in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Been too long, but great to see you as always. Please Take it away.
Yes, I'm back, New York fam. I missed y'all so much. So if you can see my box, my IG's on there. Within my IG, so is my Patreon and all the good things in the world. But yeah, it's funny that I'm closing right behind Dre, so that was cool, the way the universe works. But this letter, it was funny. Elemental put relaxation, and I picked the most stressful topic to write about, but it's fine. I chose love because I don't know what the hell it is, but it does crazy things to us. And this is kind of my letter to how cautious we can be with love, but we so use it so carelessly sometimes. So this one is called Proceed with Caution. I was always someone's confusion, someone's gift to give me a bad intuition. I was always someone's lust, pride, escape, shoulder, and strength. I was never the love of someone's life that went to great lengths. I was always someone's sweet hello while they were my most sour goodbyes. Even the see you laters never turned a blind eye. Now, who would have thought to be someone's love would take me to great heights, to share the same soul, to feel just right. A bond so secure, a hold so tight. If only someone can just stay and fight. For once, I want to be mornings with the sun instead of just moons with the night. To handle me with such care would be the bravest thing anyone has ever done. The fragility of my soul with passion like the heat from the sun, to grab my hand with intention instead of teaching me to never run. And if you can hold me without hurting me, you'll be the first who ever did. To care for me with grace and caution instead of chasing me, then treating me like an option. Thank you. For my love isn't meant to be auctioned off. I can't remember the last time I wasn't so tough. See, love mixed with life itself can be so rough. I only know how to exist when I want it. Because being human left my soul haunted. Now, you must know, everything I let go of has claw marks on it. The way I fought instead of saying it is what it is, I always took the hit. And I know I must grow, so when your radiance matches my glow and we immediately flow, I catch myself in slow motion. I'm moving so effortlessly, so beautifully loving and learning, but who knew? To die with the love in your heart can sometimes feel like you're falling apart, and falling can sometimes feel like flying and falling, and failing can sometimes feel like winning. I'm spinning and spiraling, if only you knew. The way my butterflies flew when you walked into the room, then maybe. But only maybe you're made for just me, then maybe, but only maybe we can finally just be alone, but together. But if it's forever, please do me this simple favor. Love me like my smell is your favorite flavor, and my touch is only yours to savor. For every moment we share is only ours to embrace and care. For every moment we have is only ours, no more looking back. For every word that's spoken will be another bond and promise that won't ever be broken. Because if this is the truest thing to ever exist, and I finally get to experience it, then let it be an ode to all the strong parts of me. Because to love me this hard means that you are loving my scars. And if you can see me hurt, then you can feel me healed. See, I don't know much about love. I just know all the bad things it does. The loss, the trauma, all of the above. But if I ever see the good parts, please understand my heart. For everything I do know I didn't learn from the start, like how conversational flow shouldn't feel like a show and how safe you feel because everything about this moment is surreal. Please understand how much violence it took to be this gentle. I guess I finally learned about my own true potential. It's strange, isn't it? To be so full of love and still be so empty. Lovers of pure, lovers of plenty, yet we give away our hearts so carelessly. So if you must love me partly. For my love is scarce and in fragments. And if you must love me lightly. For my love is heavy and heavy with abundance. But if you must love me, please, please really love me. For my love is for you and you only. Poem. Thank you.
Well, damn then. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bianca.
Come on now. Like there's something that B does every time. Like B has you have such a beehive of poems. I cannot even stop to make count, whew, like you say things that are that are like, well, I thought of that in introspectively. My heart thought of that, like, oh, I knew about love, but not what it does, It's like, like how do you even say that, and um if only someone would stay and fight. These are things that we think, but you place them in a relatable way, uh in a complex understanding, which is only what poets can do. I'm so appreciative of you every time that you show up in Zooms or IG. I'm so enamored in your poetry. Thank you, my sister. I love.
I really like that letter because it was two things really. It's like you're in a conversation with someone else, but you're really into this kind of deep contemplation of the topic. And I just found that kind of double dimension to the letter form very engaging.
Thank you.
No doubt, no doubt. Like you said, universe, God, don't make no mistakes. Came in like right where you're supposed to. You're supposed to fall right in, right there. Listen, love is one of those things. But somehow you made that trip into that tumultuous area or arena. You made it calm. Like seriously. Even though it's a warning, proceed with caution. Like you said all of those great things, right? But she said from the beginning, proceed with caution, right? I was always someone's confusion. Never the love of someone's life. Come on. Handle me with care. Hold me without hurting me. You would be the first. Chasing me and then treating me like an option. Like, come on. Right? Love mixed with life, right? Being human left my soul. Being human left my soul haunted. When your radiance matches my glow, like that's just fire. Like match my energy. You know what I mean? When your radiance matches my glow, I dig that. Falling can sometimes feel like flying. Love me like my smell is your favorite flavor. God damn it, Bianca, come on with that shit. Talk that shit. Talk that shit. You know how much violence it took to be this gentle. Listen. That's got to be one of the sexiest lines in that whole poem. Is that? I appreciate you. I appreciate you for the work that you're putting in for your mind, your body, and your spirit. And it sounds like I appreciate you. Don't be a stranger, for real. Dope shit. Dope shit. All right. Good shit. All right. Another great guaranteed list. Let's get to this good luck round. And we've got 3 poets that are going to come and rock with us. Coming up first, this incredible author of the Chameleon Chronicles comes through and always has something for us. All right. I've been rocking with this poet for years, listening to her get down, listen to her work, continue to drive it home. And listen, and she continues to get better. I love hearing her work. I'm telling you. The one and only Terry Rose Jurtson is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Terry. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hi. You can find me on Facebook under Terry Rose Jurtson or Teresa Rose Jurtson because Facebook, they're crooked and they took away my account and then they gave it back. So now I got 2. And IG, same thing, took away my account, gave me another one. So IG, I'm on the Chameleon Poetic. That's my name on there. So Chameleon Chronicles, Chameleon Poetic, trying to keep it consistent. Anyway, so it's not on, my poem's not on theme. It's about being stranded. What to do when you're stranded. I know this one. Pray. It's always my last resort, but what's a woman to do when the lifeline was on the bedside table at home? Remember the days before cell phones, when people had to find their way out of mazes using sheer wits and ingenuity? I didn't think some of you did. Being born into the time with such advanced technology, usually at your fingertips, where GPS is your guide and freely available. I wonder what would happen if we all of a sudden had to pay for these free applications, as there is such riveting conundrums being brainstormed by such millionaires or billionaires in their top secret meetings. Like they need more money. Such mind-bending thoughts I do not wish to entertain. However, I know what I would do. I would go back to the time before such a catastrophe and be forced to decipher the positions of the stars. I would learn to use a compass or go by a map. I'm not afraid to be lost or ask for directions, as I have survived worse than this. It's a beautiful night. The slight, cool breeze on my face is refreshing. Head comfortably cushioned on the grass, eyes gazing upward, beholding the beauty of creation. Each star billions of years old, yet somehow they sparkle. My mind struggles to briefly understand this enigma, optical illusion, as they are not really there. I choose to focus my attention elsewhere. Nostrils heavy, filled with the scent of dewy moss. The sound of crickets chirping in the distance. Perhaps I will spend the night outdoors. I don't wish to escape. I feel I am exactly where I need to be.
Damn, that is heavy. That is heavy. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Terry Rose Johnson.
Terry.
I'm always biased when it comes to Terry, because Terry was the first person to send me $30 on my PayPal. The way that I was dancing that day, like I was like, whoa, Terry just did that. But like, forced to decipher the position of the stars. Come on, stop playing with us. Like, because I always look up at the stars. Like we had, like, in the 5 days ago, we had conditions of the what do you call them, the northern stars, tinily reflecting in us, because they're always out there. But I saw that it was the green flashing in the sky. So it is so amazing to be able to connect with stars, because even the people that you allow into your life, they are stars. Whether shooting stars or something greater, they are still stars. So one love.
Really like the ending. That seemed to be like the total theme about how you don't have to escape because you're right where you want to be, and how that's a real commentary on these days, because it's a great stroke of good fortune to have that, and how you kind of suggest that younger people who don't know an environment without this advanced technology, they don't even know that that's an option.
I don't mean to send any shade to the younger people. I have kids, so I know how it is.
Absolutely. No, listen. No shade thrown, right? It's just facts. All right. This generation has had a device since about the same time that they could hold their bottle, they had a device, right? So it's just that fact. It's just that way. I love that though, right? So Koto's talking about the Northern Lights, right? Unless you even step outside of this light pollution that is the city, you really wouldn't even get a chance to see some of those things. But I love how you said that, right? Just getting by on your sheer wits and ingenuity, right? And the millionaires, and there's such riveting conundrums, right? Who should we make pay for this? How much should we make them pay for it? Right? Be forced to decipher their position with the stars. I love the sentiment that you said, I'm not afraid to be lost. And I think that is a driving force as to why this thing sticks to people. Because they don't want to be lost. They don't want to be outside of the mix or outside of the sauce. And this keeps you connected to everything. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. And juxtaposition, just like some people are almost born with this thing, there are some people that despise it. Don't want anything to do with it, anywhere near it. So embrace it, folks. It's not going nowhere. Appreciate you, Terry, for what you do and sharing it with us. Make sure you are plugging in with the Chameleon Poetic. All right. Coming up next, our resident piano man is in the building. He's got the Stetson on. He's sitting in front of the ebony and the ivory. And listen, there's no doubt that what he's about to give you is going to be soaked in artistry and probably have a sprinkle of love in there somewhere too, because he just does it. The one and only CCR Chagra is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, CC. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Oh, I love you all, and I know I've been away a lot as far as showing up at all the opens. It's just that I had to take a turn in my life and turn on a businessman head, and I got to raise some funds. But good news is that where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? Where did it go? Where'd it go? Yeah, it's in here somewhere. Anyway, I was just gonna hold up the sheet music. It's here somewhere. Maybe I should just take a second because it would trippy. It's a little trippy. Anyway, yeah, here it is. Basically, a friend of mine, Kemp Harris, who was the very first person that ever said, I believe in your music way, way, way back, decades, and took me into his little recording studio with my little guitar, and I recorded a song, and he played it. He played body percussion. Now, Kemp Harris is now recording, and he's a retired kindergarten educator from Boston, and he's a beautiful brother man, one of the most beautiful souls I've ever known. He just called me because I've started writing songs saying, no matter what I write, I want you to be the one to sing it. And about a week ago, after meeting him over at the festival, because he just played a festival over here near where I live, he said, send me one of your sheet musics, because I've been bugging him about it. And so I sent him I Think I Will Not Die Today, which is now the very first piece of music that is transcribed out in sheet music. And it's around here. But because you mentioned that tomorrow is Gustav's 60th birthday, which probably where he is, he probably don't need a watch. So the opening line in this came from him. Is the music thing down? Is they got the right button pushed? We good? Like endless waves of empathy, immaculate beyond belief, there was no death of poetry lives here. As my body loves, my brain loves yet it's my heart and lungs that completely understand. As my body loves my brain, loves my body, loves my brain, loves, yet it's my heart and soul, the heart and soul that completely understands. My fingertips and toes start talking to the blood there on vacation, feeling like they've been there way too long. So cell by cell they dread the end, while missing their friend oxygen. And so they packed up for the heart of home. Now you won't believe the many stories I heard along the way. The many tales of pain collected, trials trapped in sorrow's muscles after years and years of crying out. Most cells saying, let's just give up. There is no hope or help that's coming. There is no heartbeat waiting for us. Still my body loves my brain, loves my body, loves my brain, loves, yet it's my heart and lungs that completely understand. So near the death, each cell exhausted, still the heart completely welcomes. The door of love's a healer opens. No enemy of love need enter. Oh, now hear the weight of pain was lifted, so the lungs can give the heart back. And breath by breath, each cell accepted the heart's open hand, where my body loves my brain, loves my body, loves my brain, loves, yet it's my heart and lungs that completely understand. Like endless waves of empathy, immaculate beyond belief. There was no death of poetry lives here. Gustav Salas, happy birthday.
You always give so much to your, oh, I'm telling you, unmute yourself, give it up for C. Ashagra.
Encore.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing. CC, thank you so much.
You better be careful, sir. You're gonna mess around and be writing songs with Disney. Like, real.
No, I want to write it for Kemp. Kemp's the man. Kemp's the man.
The way
I hope I don't know if he's going to like it or not, but the drummer from his band way back 30 plus years ago just got tapped. You're not going to believe this. The band doesn't even believe this. President of Berklee School of Music. What? Can you believe that? There was a video that I did because there was this great bar. This old cop from Boston bought a bar and then he died, left it to his daughter, and she ran it for years. And then one day she closed it down. On their final night, they had Neon Grandma play. That was the band at the time. And I drove up because they're my bud, and I shot a video of it. And that final night is somewhere on YouTube. That video, and it starts out with this guy playing drumsticks on off stage, just at the front of the stage, on the back of a chair to get the piece going, you know. And that cat is now gonna be fucking. Don't ask me how life shit. That one came around like a curveball.
It's called dedication, man. Really, like that's how anyone gets to anywhere. If you're dedicated to it and you stay dedicated to it long enough, you'll end up the president of the School of Music. Like, that's just crazy. CC, every time that you come with a piece of art, you give yourself to it, right? And it's such a beautiful conversation between you and the piano. Like, it really is a one-of-a-kind experience with what you do. And I'm thankful that you are so very dedicated to doing it, right? Despite everything that's going on in your world, you still find time to work on it, right? That sheet music, it looks beautiful, by the way, right? I know how important that is, man. Continue to do it, right? The universe is listening. The future is listening. Continue to do exactly what you're doing, man. We appreciate you. All right. Closing out the evening, this next poet continues to come through. And listen, we make room, we make time, we make the space, right? Because life happens, right? And being a mom is an incredibly difficult job. But we'll make sure we make time for it. The one and only Elizabeth Horan is back in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is great to see you. You've been rocking with us all night, too. Appreciate you truly. Please, take it away.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, I thought I would read. I was listening to other people read on the theme of relaxation, and I'm not sure if these are actually relaxing, but when I read them, I feel relaxed. And they're from my book called Fembox, as in like feminine box. It's about gender, it's about bisexuality, it's about all the things. So I'll just read a few from that and see what you guys think. Thank you. This one is called, I don't know which one to do first. Let's start with this one. This one is called Portrait of Anatomy. Mine's more like an O'Keeffe Twombly, born of bougainvillea brushstrokes, unraveling petals bearing, groaning out the 68 genius children of Javier Ohuerta. He knew the meticulous folds don't come easily, the internal orchestration almost impossible to disseminate, but I declare it can be done. If you go back to the petals, really think about the color. Blue-white delphinium, a wink of pink. Saturation begins inside naturally, just beyond the stamen line. In the background, there is the sea, angry at the unfinished poetry, starts another grocery list. She can't remember all her old lovers. Unaware Sai is watching. unwise to the trick of the tide, molding her sides, dictating her movement, spills her secrets on the sand. Georgia's diving in again, deep, deep commitment to an iris, her lips of lavender mauve, ripe for artistic improvement, gives herself over and over and over, a wave folding, a flower unfolding, myself, miraculous folds of female modern art, hybrid growth of complexity. Thank you. And I think I'll read this one if you don't mind. It's called My Tiny Writing Box. And so these are all text boxes. You know, it's all prose poetry. So they're kind of like condensed into these little boxes without lines. My tiny writing box. This is my tiny box of words. I write in it. It is a gender box because it likes the color red and Boxing Day, but I manipulate it to become more femme. To like the month of May and cover up with woven cloth saris. I encourage it to perform checks, balances in the women parts about loving one another, forget-me-nots, and harmless mother snakes who go hiding in its four ample corners, and I inhabit one of its corners. I birth the eggs and nurse the newborns, legs in 90-degree angles. Shoulders, hips, squared against so many sensual sides of fat cushioning tables. Valuable cellulite bedding for fragile bird bones, spider webs for catching silken white milk. Things we can touch, like inner thighs and neck hollows exposed, earlobes and 10 tiny toes. Happily dwell. And of course, it's the birch bark papering layers which cover me white, yellow, brown, and protective. The repurposed sides of once circular mounds, shapes, dimensions, and universal appeal. My box and I play a game. 200 words or a birth, whichever comes first. She beats me, hands down, most of the time. My prize garnering uterus. Thank y'all very much.
It's just like, God damn, like, unmute yourself, give it up for Elizabeth.
That was amazing. Wow.
Really sensual poems again.
Amazing. And thank you, Elizabeth. Wow.
Thank you, Ron. Paul, I was trying to go for that nuanced mood. You know, that was my best night when you said that. So I was trying to bring you there.
Well, I think your poems don't make an error in achieving that. You know, you have this kind of toolkit and vocabulary that it's kind of a guarantee.
It's that vulnerable, sensual honesty, you know, to yourself and others at the same time. It's not an easy thing to do.
It's at once introspective, but you know, putting it out there in a kind of brave way too.
Yeah, and having like a dual awareness, you know, it's like you're aware of the internal vulnerability, but you're also honest about sort of the naked gift of it. It's good work.
Yeah, I guess you could kind of say it's sort of an unself-conscious self-consciousness. There's a kind of comfort there.
It's a zone, definitely. You have to get in the zone to write that way.
Y'all are amazing. And they're absolutely right. It's one thing to read poems, but to write those types of work, you do have to put yourself, you have to engulf yourself in the page, in the ink, right? You have to be flowing out of the pen, not just ink, right? And so when you do that, right, you end up with something like this, right? And how you put these things together, right? The sea was angry at the poetry, right? In Portrait of Anatomy. the meticulous folds don't come easily, right? Hybrid growth of complexity. And in my tiny writing box, right? You mentioned the harmless mother snakes, right? Color me white, brown, and protected. 200 words or a birth, whichever comes first. God, like, and then it's about the energy that you give when you're delivering your work. I believe that is what allows your colleagues to not just feel it, but express what they're feeling. So thank you. Thank you for what you do, for sharing it with us, for hanging out with us all evening. And that's for all of you, right? Because we have reached the end of the night. And I am so very thankful for all of you who came through. Let me shout out Bill Elkins, shout out Zach Frater, shout out Sarah Somall, shout out Doug Silver, shout out Mathematics. Listen, all of these incredible poets, authors, writers, crazy creatives. I truly appreciate you so much. Shout out RMT. We would not be able to do what we do without RMT. I appreciate each and every one of you who came through. As I mentioned, part of a military leader. I wouldn't shout out Mr. Speaker for all that he does. Shout out Umesh Mohikar. Baba Ngoma was in the building. Ike Waltz was in the building, and everyone else who had came through this evening. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Make sure you are plugging in with the cafe and everything the cafe does. Get yourself some merch, represent in your part of the world. We're going to end the night like this until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Thursday night with y'all. Until next week, peace.